What's going on? What's happening and what it do, everybody? It's Tuesday, not Taco Tuesday, but it is Tuesday. Time for another almighty raw recap and report and review. Uh, the gang's all here, man. You know what I'm saying? Down below, y'all got the Scottish psychopath in the building.
Thank you for having me as always. Here, straight back. It's time to attack. Raw review and the rest will roll back. The definitive voices of wrestling are here for all to see. So it's time to come hang with the Psycho, the Fresh, and the People's OG. What to do, gentlemen? Thanks for having me back. It's great to be back in the building to talk some wrestling with you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Over there next to me, as you can hear, that's the pot stirrer, the Eddie Guerrero fan club president.
I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Viva la raza!
I warned you, Sam. The
Come
kid's
on, man.
overexcited. He's coming in here and dropping spoilers on y'all early.
Right. Hey man, we had a lot to go on last night.
Yeah,
Um, you know, a
funny
lot,
stuff that go on
some,
too.
some, 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 some comedic moments on last night, some surprising debut moments, gratulatory moments. Matter of fact, we gonna get into that one. Royce Keys returned with a bang last night. He brought the OTM with him from NXT. A surprising graduation, I might add. And they came in and they stomped down everybody. Which was also part of the surprise to me, you know what I'm saying, for him to go at, you know what I'm saying, Solo and the mega star, you know what I'm saying. I just figured they was gonna come in and jump on the bloodline all together. No, they came in and wiped out everybody, you know.
I mean, they did only team up for that little bit, and he probably looked at it like, oh, Solo and LA Knight. Oh, y'all just gonna team up and leave me out in the cold, huh? Okay.
Hey,
Well,
yeah,
I got something for
yeah.
everybody.
I mean, he came back with the youngin, two very large youngin at that. I've seen the OTM a couple of times in NXT. Um, yeah, watching in the episode I saw him on last week, I did not expect them to graduate to the main roster anytime soon. But I mean, for them to come in with the bang, it kind of piques the interest a little bit in where everything's gonna go. I called it the monkey wrench in the ointment, if you will. You know what I'm saying, with these three big guys, coming into the mix. And I mean, I get it with the factions being, starting to show themselves coming, getting ready, for war games coming up at Survivor Series. Um, Triple Hole, you get another flower this week. You get another flower this week.
Yeah, you back up to double H now.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but you still have to wonder where all this, because you got a lot of moving parts going on with all these things, with this situation being unsettled. Jacob and the family, Haku and the MFTs and this in that situation. You got a whole lot of moving parts and things are brewing. Will, what do you think about all this?
Well, as you say, Sam, it throws a lot of X factors into the mix, a lot of things to be considered. And I mean, we haven't even explored fully the upcoming, teaser that Shinsuke Nakamura dropped about his rivalry cut upcoming with the MFTs and Haku and all that good stuff as well. So, as you say, it does give me the. I don't want to speculate, but it does give me the idea that potentially we could see three war games matches, given the fact that you're very very heavily investing, as you say, in the factions right now. But they're building them up in a good way. They're transitioning, as I say, some of the guys who I thought would have been in it, down in NXT for a minute longer, like you say. But as I say, pairing them with Haku, giving them that obviously that pedigree be that manager, and then obviously we've said before many times in the group chat, we all know what Haku can do even now. I don't think he needs that Kane to really be a threat. If you want to take a stroll down memory lane on that one time, I'm more than happy to do it. But the
Well,
story's
well,
still
well.
fresh.
To be, you know what I'm saying, bounce on that. That Kane is not just a prop. He actually needs it. Um, he's had a couple of hip surgeries. And because a few months back, what I'm saying, he was dealing with some health issues, what I'm saying, which also involved, what I'm saying, the hip surgeries, Haku's what? He's got to be around 70.
Oh, I was gonna say 60. He
Yeah,
don't
he's
look
got to be
70.
there.
He
There.
look
I
good.
was for
60,
his age.
60, 70, somewhere in that
I
gap.
hope he
Yeah.
comes back. I hope he comes back stronger and he can obviously
Yeah, he
do
everything was clear. Everything was
understand what
cleared.
he's going
You know what I'm saying, with him. But yeah, the Kane, it's not just a prop. He actually needs it. He actually needs it. If you
No,
notice, if you ever notice him coming into the ring, he moves rather gingerly. You
yeah.
know. Um,
No, prayers up. He keeps recovering well. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
another
yeah.
all-time great, and someone who, I mean, doesn't really get his flowers for being part of some of the big angles that he has over the years. Obviously, the big changing of the guard of the tag division at WrestleMania 6. Obviously, his long association with Andre and the Heenan family, with guys like Warrior and Hogan and all that good stuff. So, I mean, pairing young guys who are just up, who are still arguably a little green, or maybe not even so much green, but that need to readjust to the American product because they've been in Japan so long. Because we who know the sport as we do, you start to understand that there is not just a change in pace, but your entire schematically how
But
you
you
put
do
on a
you
match
do
starts
know
to
that the
change
MFTs are
dramatically.
actually his sons.
Mm.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
makes
that's
it
what I'm
even
saying. So
better.
I think that'll keep him going as well because he'll be able to kind of live vicariously through them too.
hmm
So I mean, it's great to see. And as I say, I don't want to put it in stone just yet, but there could be we could be looking at 3 War Games matches, 2 men's, and then the women's
yeah.
just because they're giving us, as I say, they're giving us groups out the wazoo right now. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it and how they can start to kind of break these off into some of the interesting rivalries that will start to carry us through into the winter months as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited, and I agree with you boys, and at least giving them the second H back, because I know the last PLE, I made no secret about the fact that I felt it fell flat in a lot of ways. I'm openly critical. It's a love-hate relationship that I have with the modern product, as you know. But no, on this one, he certainly has earned his flowers. He's done a lot of good things with the show last night, and as I say, I hope he can keep the momentum coming. And the run up to War Games, because that's certainly one of the nights on the calendar that excites me the most. I don't know if I can speak for the boys on that one too, but certainly they're teasing some nice things. As Sam said, so we're certainly here for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hopefully, with Haku and them and the young guys coming up from NXT with Royce Keys and stuff. Hopefully this means triple ho. Well, oh my bad. You did earn 2 H's back. Double H. Hopefully his writers, he didn't got the right type of writers to make sure these guys have good matches. Not saying they got to be a title match every time, but make the matches more meaningful and wanting to watch, and actually putting a plan and schedule together to have these guys in the spotlight uh like they deserve. um I definitely can't wait to see what we get at War Games, because what we got that Sunday night
Yeah,
main
you got
event,
Sunday night coming.
and then Money in the Bank. You got two events to really set up your war games. So don't fumble the ball, please.
Yeah.
Please don't
Now,
fumble that.
now, last night the promos were at a premium on last night. Um, you know, this has been 2 weeks in a row that Solo has outshined his brothers. Um, you know, because that Matrix movement, that Matrix movement off of this is your warning shot. Oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. You know, and then who knew that the megastar and Solo Dolo was the odd couple that we needed? Because them two together they are comedy gold.
Yeah, they play off each other very well. Very, very well.
Yeah,
They,
and then
they,
after
they,
the
they,
match,
they're comedy gold.
and that's your warning shot, bro. Pew.
Yes,
That bit had me dead.
yes.
I was like, this guy, dude.
Yeah.
You know, which led to we getting there's a surprise debut. You know what I'm saying, of the OTM. I mean, you know what I'm saying, the action was on, was on point. There was a lot of good action, a lot of good. There was some good surprises on last night. Now, the other big action was Oba and Braun with the contract signing. That goddamn Overfinny called that man the little angry orange man.
I'm gonna need, you know what? I'm gonna need Braun Breaker to get some more promo cutting practice, because to me, honestly, his promo cutting is garbage. I don't even like him on the mic, honestly. I'm just saying he's a good wrestler and
That is
everything, but
one
his
point.
promo cutting ability is not there. Not in my opinion, it's not.
And I think
No, that's a great point
in that
because
sense
Braun Breaker's
that's where that's where he needs Paul. Um,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, to help him with that. At first, I was kind of sort of, almost feeling that way, about Oba, but then, the more and more I saw him on the microphone, I'm like, okay, he can hold his own. You know
but
what I'm saying?
and
He can
also,
hold
I
his
mean,
own.
I heard when you look at, you could tell Oba put the work in, because when you go and look at from when he was at NXT to
Yeah,
now,
that's what I did.
and and just not even just his promo cutting ability, just even from when his walkout and stuff,
Yeah,
added a little different
yeah,
thing to
his
that.
intro.
Yeah, just every he's worked on his entire game
Mm-hmm.
versus certain people just work on certain areas. I think Braun Breaker need to go and get a page out of Obafemi's book. Because I don't like him on the mic. His mic ability is just, yeah. And that's another reason why I say he needs to get rid of the vision and stuff. He needs to be more of a solo person, because I think that's the
Yeah.
only way he's going to be able to break free and really grow. Because for one, you became a part of the division up under Seth. Maybe actually, let me say it like this: you just became more so just a side character. You put yourself in being a side character more than a main character.
I mean, well, he is his daddy's son. Rick wasn't, what I'm saying, all that special on the microphone himself.
Yeah, but
You know,
Mhm.
that's why Scott did most of the talking all the time.
well, he need to find
And
somebody
then
else to do the talking.
even when Rick was in the varsity club with Kevin Sullivan and Rotundo and them, uh, um, he wasn't doing a whole lot. Shit, he barked more times than he spoke.
Well, he need to do that.
But that's the thing too. It makes you think because the whole industry itself has shifted. So you need to almost to be effective as an upper card talent nowadays. You have to be able to at least cut it or hold your own on the mic. And I feel like Fresh has a great point there because I mean I was saying to Sam just before we got rolling that I feel like the one area that you could shore up would be his mic skills because if you can do that I mean, he's got in ring. He can go with pretty much anyone on the roster. So I mean, like if you can, and I feel like that's why they try to kind of stick him in a group at first, and then obviously have him get the rub from Rollins, the rub from obviously Paul as well, so that he could try and get a little bit of that mic technique and presence down. Because I mean, if you can get over that, I mean, this kid's gonna print money. If he can take a little, as you say, if he takes a little leaf from the Obafemi book, or even goes back and looks over those old Steiner math promos again, I wouldn't mind seeing like bringing back like something that's kind of a tip of the cap sort of promo style. Obviously, go back, see what your Uncle Scott did as well, and lean on that. Lean on what you've got with Paul as well, and that whole shtick. But yeah, you guys know as well, and I make no secret that I'm not a big vision guy. I feel like it's long since run its course, and I feel like the stars of that group have shown themselves, and I feel like it's time to kind of, as Fresh said, it's time to let the rest kind of fall by the wayside, as it were, and go on with the guys that you're going to be putting money and time into.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Dom and Captain Forehead jumped on Javon Evans last night after he had another melee with Cass. Um, I'm really now. That's about the only thing that I'm trying to figure out where they're going in. I mean, because really right now you got Javon Evans solo. You know what I'm saying? You got Cass on this side of the union. You got Dom and Captain Forehead in the problem. Where are they going with that little mixture?
I don't know. A little bit. I wanted, like, when you first started saying something, my first initial thought was they gonna let Javon take that dang Lucha AAA title up off of Don, because it's like you ain't doing nothing with the title but just running around with it. He ever since he got that dang belt, he's just been holding it. It's like, bro, go. He need to put that up on the line.
Yeah. Ray, you need to make him defend that belt, Ray.
It's something, bro. He just running around with this belt, like, man.
Taker, Ray. Y'all need to make him defend that belt. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just holding it in the Germany, they need to do something with that. Now that speaking of which, that match with Penta and but that was a great match last night too.
Yeah, Penta and Dragon Lee.
Yeah, that was a great match.
That was Penta and the other guy. That was Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix. There it goes.
Yeah.
Penta's brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's funny that they both ended up in the dang finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be a tasty match. And I tell you, I think obviously we know whoever wins is going to go on to face Roman, but I think we know Roman's going over, so I think we then run with that, kick it back down south, given that they've got the rubber working with Roman, to then be the guy that potentially dethrones Dom. I think that's maybe the way my mind's going with it. But I'm not ready to call who's going to win this. I think it'll be Penta, but I think it's going to be an absolute display. Both those guys can go. So I think it's going to be a fun match to watch, given their chemistry, both as a team, and obviously they've done work before as opposition over in Mexico and back in Lucha Underground and things like that as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I just hopefully they can use that momentum to obviously cash in on something in a bigger way, because I think if you want to push Dom back up into the world title picture, this is the way to do it. But he's got to drop that AAA strap first, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't know if you guys have got any alternative sort of discourse to that, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. We kind of, how do we work out the Dom Penta situation and still get everyone the proper rub? That's kind of how I'm thinking about things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of flying the ointment, Becky and Stephanie got into the mix again last night of a different kind. Becky,
Stephanie married?
huh?
Is Stephanie married?
I don't know.
I hope not. Because I really would like a piece of that.
Hey. Leave Valkyria cakes alone now.
Hey, look.
Leave them cakes alone now.
That's some nice looking cake.
Yes. Yeah.
Cut me a little slice off. Just let me lick the frosting.
Yeah, she a little thick. She a little thick. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
she had old girl head bouncing on the.
oh yeah, the devil's kiss.
Yeah. We could have traded places right there.
Yeah. She, her and Roxanne had a match. And Raquel and Liv tried to get involved. Becky came down, put some things in order.
Yeah.
Actually, for the second week in a row, Becky have saved Stephanie's little ass now. And she let her know it. It's not once, but that's twice you owe me. I'm liking where this is going. I'm liking where this situation is going.
Yep.
The build up to what will more than likely be a triple threat is real good in this here particular situation. I know one of those two are going to end up with the belt. And that'll bounce that situation for that to take off as a nice little rivalry. You're right there. In that belt situation, what do you guys think as far as recreating the title picture?
Yeah, I just don't want Liv with the belt no more.
Yeah, I mean, you can kick the can down a little bit because think about it, guys. I mean, it's another one that you could potentially even play out after War Games because essentially, if you have a women's War Game match and you put it against Liv, against Raquel, against that contingent, you could essentially be looking at having Becky and Stephanie on the same team. If you choose that match to blow things up, you then have Becky versus Liv for the title. Then you have Stephanie versus Liv for the title. They could then each screw each other, which sets up a triple threat for maybe Survivor Series or something like that, where you're putting Premier like that on a Big Four pay-per-view. So I mean, but yeah, that I'm quite patient with things like this. If you're going to try and basically reshape the division, and I think they're pushing it, at least in my mind right now. Like Stephanie Vicker is going to be the one to run with it going forward. But I'm not 100% convinced that she's ready to carry the company just yet. So I want to kind of stretch it out a little bit. Have a few more big matches and see what comes of it that way. Just kind of let it grow organically because it's certainly starting off nice, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Fresh, what do you think about it all?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I'm glad Stephanie looks pretty good back in the ring after her injury and stuff like that. She doesn't look like she's missing a step or whatnot. Of course, she's gonna have to go through Big Mama the one, so that'll go with what you're saying, stretching that out. I think it's time to also put Becky in a couple of matches against them too. Let her go against a little beat up on the Judgment Day a little bit, and that'll help stretch it out a little more. Also still keep it entertaining and keeping the story fun. I like seeing Liv running around scared, getting her ass kicked. I can enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? For a few more weeks. Like you said, them joining up on teams. During that,
you'll probably see Becky, Steph, Soul, Ruka, and Io as a War Games team.
I would love that. I would.
Yeah, I would really they've all had situations with Judgment Day, so you know what I'm saying. It'd be interesting who would also come into that situation as to partner up with those three in Judgment Day.
what is what is the old girl name that came? She came and talked to Sol Ruka about getting her dang title shot back. She will probably be joining the Judgment Day.
Ooh, Blake Monroe,
No,
Lyra back here.
yes, there it is.
Oh, yeah, unhinged ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because last night she had a run in with Ruka, with Sol Ruka, and wanted to you know what I'm saying. She
Okay.
tried to tell her to let her take the title and stuff. I'm like, nah, bro, I earned this. You got to earn it with everybody else.
Right.
So that's I think she would be a cool little addition to that little 4
Mm-hmm.
4. I think that'll be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're just honestly
Her,
booking at
her
that point, but
tagging
that's a
into it.
tasty women's war games. Like I would well sign up for that. And obviously, having speculated what we have about the men's matches as well, like if they do this the right way and book accordingly, the next couple of pay-per-views are going to be absolute fire. We
Right.
have a lot of big matches to put together, and as I say, like finally some of the ones that we've been speculating were coming for a while. Like we knew we would see Oba and Braun eventually, but it's just like how, why, and when. And it's good to see that obviously the booking consistency levels increased. And I think a lot of that come down with the fact that Triple H has finally realised that I'm going to keep it a buck as I always do. I think the Triple H situation's lit a fire under his ass. I think the fact that people are criticising his booking and saying, yeah, Taker's doing it better, Ray's doing it better, blah, 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 it's got him feeling some kind of way because, as I say, I don't know if you guys watched the Stevie Richards show. Shout out to Stevie. He was talking about it with James Romero, and they were kind of going back and forth on Triple H's attitude towards the fans right now. And obviously, he's just saying if you feel like the booking's weak, that's not my fault. That's not the fault of the writers. That's the fault of essentially the talent for not being able to get over, and our fault for being jaded enough to not just sit there and basically endure the substandard vanilla writing that we've been enduring the past 3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
6 weeks. So, I mean, you let that kind of lay where it lies, but I'm just making a point that Triple H knows that people are out here watching, and it's the real fans that you need to still appease. I know that the money tickets are all good, and going and doing the Saudi shows and all that good stuff is wonderful. Not gonna say a bad word about any of that. The Netflix deals, and I could go on all night, but you, for my money, for a long time seemed to have lost the fundamental reason why you put on a wrestling show. And it's for the guys like us who've been watching 20, 30 years, who love the product. Who, yeah, we may put ourselves across as so called smart marks, but I mean, that's just because we have so much passion for what you do. And we've been watching so much of it and endured and enjoyed so much of it over the years that we now feel like we
Mm-hmm.
have some have to say as well. So you have to respect that because at the end of the day, we are the ones who fill these stadiums when you tour. So I feel like Triple H he needs to get back that semblance of who he's trying to please here. Just to obviously keep it 100 about that as well.
Well, he's taking some baby steps and some very good steps over this past month. Um, you know what I'm saying, with some of the creativity, you know what I'm saying, some of the standouts. Um, Again, you had some creative comedy gold on last night. Cause that back and forth with the Usos and Solo and the Megastar was ultimate classic.
Yeah,
Classic.
and I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I gotta stamp L.A. Knight as the modern day Hulk Hogan. I do. Just the way he wrestles, the way he talks, the color scheme. That's Hulk Hogan all over. But I feel like this one ain't ain't gonna have all the problems the other one did behind the scenes.
Right.
So yeah. But I sure do like Yeah, LA Knight has really stepped into that spotlight of I like seeing him wrestle. I like when he coming out cutting his promos and stuff. I like anytime LA Knight is on there, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
hey, Knight.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The WWE universe is really from the beginning has been responding to him. Um, you know, and he's good with it. He's timely with it. You know what I'm saying? He has good comebacks. You know, and he's you know he's a moment he stands in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, who knew that Solo and the Megastar was the odd couple that we needed? Because those two right.
Yeah, both of them are funny as hell.
when that guy, when Jay said, "This is your one shot, David," and he's sitting there leaning right there with him, I'm like, they are not doing the Matrix. They are not doing the Matrix. I was like, oh man, this is classic. Oh my goodness.
Also, when
genuinely so thrilled for LA Knight just purely because I mean I remember watching some of his work as Eli Drake in TNA and thinking,
yeah,
the guy's got something, but I feel like that's where the X Division failed him. Is that's not. That was the failing of the TNA X Division for me. I mean, it gave you some phenomenal matches, some phenomenal television, but it was very much stylistic. The only two guys that really broke out of that mold stylistically and were still able to have good X Division matches would be Samoa Joe and Abyss. Outside of that, a lot of them were the smaller, faster, so-called flippier guys. Your Styles, your Chris Sabins, Christopher Daniels, and so on. But with that being said, I don't think it was a failing so much on Eli Drake as he just had to kind of find his spot. So I'm thrilled that he's gotten over because I mean, as you say, I don't know quite. Like I'm not too sure what the secret ingredient is, but he's definitely got it. He's got that X factor that makes you want to tune in and watch again and again.
He's got that it. He's got that it shit.
Yeah,
he's got it. He's got it.
I'm glad he did break away from that Max Dupree crap.
Oh yeah,
because that was my first introduction to LA Knight when he was trying to bring that character out. But whatever happened with that, I'm glad it happened.
With everybody screaming, LA Knight, yeah. It's the yeah for me.
Well, like, I guess for every Undertaker there is a Texas Red, and for every Kane there is a Christmas creature. So it just took him a little bit of time to kind of carve out his space, but I mean, more power to him.
Right.
He's one of the as Sam said, there's a handful of segments and potential fireworks that you tune in for every week, and some of it is like, yeah, what are we going to get out of Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, and this whole shenanigans that's going on right now.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see that we covered that and that and that. All right. Well, for the filthy animals, for the saying do whatever's to make it happen. We're gonna roll right into our old school segment coverage to the late great Eddie Guerrero,
one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. Yeah.
We're gonna let you get away with that this week. But Eddie, what I'm saying, he's for character and in-ring philosophy and timing. Yeah, Eddie, and he was a comedic clown.
Yes, okay. I was just about to say the comic relief.
Yeah, and I'm talking about look, the comedic goal of getting people in trouble with the chair I'm talking about. He wrote that for years. Um, one of his um best matches were with Brock. Um, and going back in WCW days, Dean Malenko, the match with him and Dean Malenko, the match with him and X Pac was one of the better, um, real wrestling matches. I ain't talking about just throwing punches, but real wrestling, technicalities. Let me see, him and Raven was another good one. I could go, saying naming some good matches that he was in, but his character, the character that he exuded, most nobly in the WWE, he was an idiot. Um, and then his on-screen love affair with China was another story all itself. That
Not
was
all about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That I mean, him and China as a pairing, that was great. Um, you know, um, some of his matches with Chris Jericho was comedic gold, as well as wrestling gold. Eddie, God rest his soul, was one of the better characters to ever do it, one of the better wrestlers to do it. What I'm saying, on the microphone, in the ring, shenanigans, what I'm saying, you name it, he did it. His when he and see, it was another reason why I named that situation with him and Brock Lesnar for the championship. I knew it was just something that clicked in me. It made me look at him different and realize that there was something wrong with him, health wise. That's where I started to notice he was looking rather different. Um, you know, and then when it did happen, I was like, wow. Like it was because he was popping a load of pills. Um, it started with just dealing with saying trying to mask pain, cover pain, saying, and not wanting to take time off. But at that point when they started the back and forth between him and Brock for the belt. And when he did that promo, about doing whatever it takes to win, and for whatever reason, I just really started, zeroed in on. I'm like, there's something wrong with it, And a month or so, I think it was like 2-3 months later, he passed away. But that's my take and my thoughts on what I'm saying, big picture wise, Eddie Guerrero. Will, what I'm saying, you go next, because we're gonna let Pratt Stir, what I'm saying, since this is his guy. We're gonna let him go last. Give us your thoughts on Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys where you can't really begin to say enough good things. He's one of the few talents, as I said in the group chat, he's one of a handful of talents, possibly only three, with the additions of Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles, who you can have work with anyone on the planet, and you're gonna get at least a 4-star match. Um, with that being said, I've watched Eddie for so long, because I mean, I'm going to go back even further than WCW. I'm going to take you back. If you want to go back and watch some fantastic early Eddie Guerrero matches, I would recommend the October '92 run in Mexico City against El Hijo del Santo. You can also go back to around about February to May of 1994. And this is a chance while we're on the OG segment to shout out one of the OG goats of British wrestling as well, because this was a character who was originally portrayed by Mark Rollerball Rocco. But a lot of people don't know that Eddie Guerrero was also the second iteration of the Black Tiger in Japan. So go back and watch some of those matches from New Japan where he wrestled the likes of Tiger Mask, when it was Kanemoto, or Jushin Liger, and some of those matches, or as the matches he had with a very young Owen Hart as well over in Japan. Just some stellar matches if you want to go back very early into Eddie's career. Obviously, bringing it more up to date with all the filthy animal stuff, the lifelong bond that he formed with Mysterio, all the good matches that we got out of that, as well. Um, Obviously, the Mamacita bit I adored, as well. I'm a big fan of China. Shout out to Vincent Moore in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Um, what was Yeah, it was amazing to see him also bring China along for the ride, because I feel like her career had stagnated into just the power character of the women's division, because she didn't have the DX rub, because that had all fallen away and things like that. So I loved all of the comedic, sort of Mamacita shtick. That was incredible. Obviously their matches with Lita and Essa Rios back then as well. And then obviously some of the big singles affairs that he had over the years. I mean, working with guys like Brock, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and guys like that as well. So I mean, just a stellar career cut, sadly too short. And one more match I will shout out from the WWE era, if you're looking, go back and watch the ladder match that he had for, I think it was either the European or Intercontinental. You can correct me on that one, against Rob Van Dam, and that is just a fantastic ladder match.
Yep.
So yeah, rest in peace, Eddie. Just a huge influence to any one of us who are, uh, like myself, not the smallest guy in the world, but when not the largest guy in the world, I should say. And you're sitting watching wrestling and you're thinking, is that a road that I could go down? Could I go and train to be a wrestler? And I used to have these crazy thoughts when I was a kid, and it was guys like some of the guys I just mentioned, the Rey Mysterios, the Jushin Ligers, and of course the Eddie Guerreros, that make you think, nah, you know what, it's not as the old saying says, it's not the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog. And Eddie brought that fight till the end as well. So I mean, that's what I've kind of got to say in summary of Latino Heat. I could go on all night, but I mean, we do have to try and keep it down to about a 90-minute show. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and I'll pass it over to the freshmen, seeing as I know Sam and I are both members of the fan club, but you're El Presidente, so to speak. So I'll pass the floor to you, sir.
Yeah, man. Eddie was my guy. Like from the first time I ever seen him come out in that lowrider, from the time he stopped wrestling, I can honestly say, like, him when he passed, he was one of the people who I don't really get emotional and stuff about people passing, the celebrities and stuff, but he was definitely one of the guys that hurt my heart. I was like, wow, you don't get to see no more Latina Heat, no more frogs splashing all over the place, no more lying, cheating, and stealing. Are you serious? And yeah, one of my favorite ladder matches is the one you were talking about with him and Rob for the Intercontinental. That was like a classic match that I love watching. I love watching his promo cutting, his in-ring ability to wrestle with anybody, honestly, and make it to the point it was nonstop action when you seen him in the ring. He didn't need to slow down. You knew it was just gonna be a brilliant match when he was out there. And then to throw in the little comic relief gimmicks that he would have. My favorite one where he was it was him and Chavo versus Rey Mysterio and Edge. And I think he did something to Edge and pulled Chavo over him and then distracted while the ref was distracted. Rey Mysterio switched them, and then he got to turning around laughing and giggling and stuff. And then when he turned back and seen that they lost, it was just like all the more his shock on his face. To go through different characters like he did, I kind of feel like him and Undertaker are kind of in the same boat, being able to go from different characters seamlessly and still delivering on performance, character, charisma. And it's just like you don't get that at a lot of people. I feel like Eddie Guerrero is one of the very few wrestlers who had everything from wrestling to personality to promo cutting to the entrance to the finisher. And then just overall, every time I hear a story about Eddie, whoever's telling that story, they crying down there. So that also lets you know, like, he was real impactful, not only just for the business side, but for people's personal lives and how he impacted them on a personal level. And that's not something you can always find with anybody. And that's just what made him special to me.
But when you can have Brock Lesnar, you know what I'm saying, shed a tear trying to tell a story about you, I'm just saying.
You see?
I'm just saying. You know,
anytime somebody tells a story about him, they start crying. So it's like, yeah. Eddie was one of them guys
it's
that
crazy, and to add into the mix as well. I mean, we've only just scratched the surface on like the amount of special moments, as Vincent says. I mean, some of like WrestleMania 20 was amazing. The fireworks and coming down, and him and Benoit in the center of the ring. That was pretty special. And one thing I did mean to say when I was talking, and I was reticent not to mention, was how legit were the sort of LWO revolution in the WCW cruiserweight division. Guys like La Parca, Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, and guys like that. Just some insane matches, and obviously Conan was doing some work with those guys as well back then. Just so many great guys that came out of there. And as I say, when you were a smaller guy watching it, you that was one of the main reasons that got me into WCW programming at the time. I'll openly admit that the number one reason was Sting and against the NWO, but right behind that was the fact that you guys know yourself. All respect to the Attitude Era and all that stuff, but during that Attitude Era time period, 96, 97, into 98 and 99, WWE couldn't book smaller guys. They were booked as a laughing stock, whereas when you turned on WCW, you could see these guys what they were really made of. So I mean, and then Eddie was a big cornerstone of that. So I mean, yeah, how do you even begin to do a segment like this? It does make the work a little bit harder, but yeah, just a special talent. I mean, we won't see his like again. There was he's one of those guys where, as I said earlier, like a Shawn Michaels or like an AJ Styles. He's one of one. We're not going to see another Latino Heat.
I wish he was alive because I would like to see him and Ray be in a position to help the Luchador AAA company and stuff. I know if we had him
Oh yeah.
in certain positions to make sure stuff was right, like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, I bet you we would never question like storylines and disappearance of people and stuff. Eddie would have made everything just that much better.
yeah. Eddie was one of the good ones. He was well respected and loved in any locker room he was in. Yeah, you never got except when it came down there at the end when people was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the things that was going on with his health. Other than that, you never got a bad story about Eddie Guerrero. From the locker room. He helped people whenever he could. You know, he was always a guide. He was always a brother. You know what I'm saying? He was always a mentor. And we lost one of the great ones way too soon when we did in that aspect.
It's
You
been
know,
21 years
yeah,
since his
yeah,
passing.
yeah. Um,
Well,
and the family and the extended family as well. They've done they've worked extremely hard. You know what I'm saying, to go on with life. And keep his legacy and all intact and alive. Um, you know, Vicky struggled.
Yeah.
Um, she struggled. Um, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, her and Chavo struggled with it. Um, you know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. Uh, that's where I would give uh, Stephanie and Vince a flower or two on that aspect in doing whatever they could to help that family deal with that loss. Right there. They they gave them a helping hand. Um, in many different ways, especially Vicky, because what she struggled. Oh my God, she struggled.
Shoot, I think when that happened, I think everybody did. I mean, of course, fans is not gonna struggle as much, but
Yeah, yeah, there
I
were a
think
lot of guys. And because I saw I can't remember what the program was, but I saw where Edge was talking about. You know, what I'm saying his the moments that he had. You know, what I'm saying, because they used to ride the roads together. Um, he said there's a lot of things he stopped doing because it reminded him too much of Eddie. Um, you know, it just, in certain routines he had to take out of his routine, because it would put him in that moment with Eddie. You know, uh, Chavo said Chavo telling a story on Taker's podcast about leaving the country, going to Brazil and just sitting in a cabin, you know what I'm saying, for 2 months, things of that nature. It's when you listen to the people that loved him, you know, it kind of touches you a little bit. Yeah, and you're right, Vincent. It was cool to see, Vicky, try to continue, what I'm saying, working with the company and doing certain things, and trying to, keep his, name in remembrance and things of that nature, doing charity events in his name and all, which he still does now. Um, but that guy, he was a special cat. Yeah, so every time I see some of the clips, with him and Ray, him and Jericho, him and the Hardy Boys, the whole getting other people caught with the chair thing was classic. That's gonna forever be a classic, but hey. Any more memories there, Pastor? Anything else you want to say on Eddie?
this is the best haircut out there. This should be called the People's Mully. Ibararasa. You dig what I'm saying, man?
Don't want to get your wet naps out over there. You know what I'm saying? You're all sappy and shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Eddie will probably never leave my top 5. Make sure I frog splash in something just for him.
Right. Well, once again,
actually, another one of my other favorite segments. I think it was him and Booker T when they got into it in the back.
Yeah,
so Booker T, I think he just had came over, and he was acting funny, being different, and Eddie had to set him straight. That was one of my also favorite memories, and that right there also showed you that he was a locker room guy.
Right.
How he defended and went up against that. I love that. That was something else I had to bring up.
Will, what did you say, Will?
No, I just think it's like one of the stories that I wasn't sure whether I wanted to mention tonight, but it does bear repeating. Was I don't know if you guys know about the backstage altercation with Eddie and Kurt, but apparently some crosswords were exchanged and some challenges were waylaid, and Kurt took Eddie down and kind of pinned him, fist hooked him, whatever he had to do, and he goes, "Why the hell did you challenge an Olympic gold medalist to a fight?" And Eddie just looks him deadpan in the eye and goes, "Because I'm stupid." That's just Eddie though. That guy who do that, like, so I mean, just an absolute heart of gold, and he'll be sorely missed. And it proves how much of a talent and how much of a rare commodity he was. When here we are still talking about him with such reverence, 21 years down the line. And I will throw in one little aside that's not to do with Eddie Guerrero, but it's more just about more generally the passage of time. It's 3 years today since the passing of Bray Wyatt, or yesterday, I should say, since the passing of Bray Wyatt as well. That's been a quick 3 years, boys. It really has.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sap all included, you know what I'm saying? I hope we didn't make too many of y'all cry and remember Eddie Guerrero, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I damn near wanted
that's Raw recap for Monday Night Raw. I think we're gonna try to let me see, because the Falcons are gonna be on Thursday, so we'll try to watch live for SmackDown at the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? On that would you know what I'm saying, and then follow up with what I'm saying, the SmackDown review. So y'all pull up for that.
The game is gonna be on around that time.
But the game is Thursday.
Yeah.
No, the game is Friday.
We can miss the culture pop this week, I was going to say, because I've got some ideas there too. I was going to suggest to you guys and you guys in the chat, if you like the sound of it due to the recent passing of Hayden Panettiere, and obviously to bring it back to our football roots, we could maybe do one for the fan and one for you guys that want to watch it with us, and do a little watch party of Remember the Titans or something like that. And I also wanted to do another topic for culture popping as well, which would be something that's particularly close to my heart, and I know it's close to you two's heart as well, as OGs in the gamer community. And that would be the whole conversation of, when we talk about nostalgia and we go down memory lane, what is it that we actually miss? Is it the memories themselves, or is it the actual games? Because I know we go back and we play some of these retro games, and openly, admittedly, they're not what they once were. So you do start to get a little bit poignant. But before we start whipping out the violins and all that again, that was all just a little
Yeah.
maybe next Thursday, because we do have a busy weekend coming. So if you guys want to rain check that, and we can go again next Thursday for another culture pop, then that sounds good to me.
Well,
But yeah, we'll
definitely
catch you
this
on
this
Friday.
culture popping coming up. We're definitely going to be talking. We're going to give some memory time to Dolly Parton, who passed on today. So y'all look, pull up for that on Thursday. We're going to give a little time, and talk about Dolly Parton. The Memphis Belle, um, and the impact of Dolly World in Memphis, Tennessee, and all the things she did for the industry, and saying a lot of the music that she wrote that a lot of you don't know she wrote. What I'm saying? So that's gonna be some parts of the program on Thursday. And once we get, because I know I saw where that game on the
Yeah, I'm
on
looking at the
the
schedule right here. It's Thursday's games is Steelers, Bills, Patriots, Browns, San Francisco, Raiders, Rams, Chargers, and then Friday is Commanders, Ravens, Texans, Panthers, Falcons, Dolphins, Bucks,
okay.
Jags,
Okay.
Are
Giants,
we still in that?
Jets,
So
Saints, and Cowboys.
if it is Friday, if since the game is Friday, we'll do what we did last week, and have the review on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
To accommodate. Oh, not to mention, just a reminder, Culture Popping 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. So that way we can, have all parties involved. What I'm saying? That way, what I'm saying, Will can make it in. What I'm saying? That accommodate his time, what I mean? Because we have enough time in that time slot, what I'm saying, to do 6 o'clock. So Coach Poppin will be at 6 o'clock from here on out. Just a programming alert for you all going forward.
Because as I say, we're working hard on the FNI, Des and Dino and I, to keep on keeping on, keep bringing y'all the Great Falcons content with the Scottish Falcon shows and the watch parties. So obviously that's been the basis behind that. We just want to make sure that all of the communities that we're involved in are giving you as much great content as we can. But y'all boys
Yeah.
already know it's always a pleasure and a thrill to share the floor with you. So
Yeah.
if we can
Yeah.
do a little tweaking and I'll endeavour to do that, because
Right.
it's always a pleasure to hang with family and talk football or wrestling. So yeah, I'll be back real soon to do it again. You can count on that.
Yeah. And then with Friday, with the game being actually, so you already know, Falcon Friday will also double as pregame. And if we got to reach out to coach to see, what I'm saying, what his situation is. As far as the watch live is concerned, is his equipment ready? What I'm saying, do that. If not, yours truly will be leading the charge on the watch live on that. I'm quite sure Will and his crew are going to be doing something as well. So we will definitely have you covered for Friday night's game. What I'm saying, watch live, whether it's international or whether it's national, we got you
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or
covered.
drop in and show love to all concerned. You can split halves if you want. We won't hold any grudges. We know it's all love. So
Yes,
wherever you
yes.
spend it, make sure you spend it with us. And as I say, much love to you boys again for another great show. We
Oh,
hope you
most
all have enjoyed
definitely.
it down in the chat. As I say, just keep it here because we've got a lot of good things coming down the pipeline, and we only just getting started. As I say, I wanted to also launch into some retro wrestling review in terms of full show cards. So if you
Oh
guys
yeah,
want to
well,
watch any
we
wrestling
definitely
or
gonna get the the retrospect from the games and wrestling. We definitely gonna what I'm saying, get that into the mix in both sectors. What I'm saying. So we like you said, we're gonna definitely what I'm saying, mind meld and get all this good entertainment and coverage to you in all sectors, in all vectors, what I'm saying, with all parties involved, from Raw recap SmackDown review, the Watch Live Culture Pop. We're gonna have some good things, you know what I'm saying, that are good, that's going to expand that show. So y'all keep tuning in, you know what I'm saying, for that, you know what I'm saying, because we're we got a lot of things on the runway planned for takeoff in that aspect. Let me see, Fresh, anything you want to announce to the people?
What's that, Tuesday? No. Keep y'all motherfucking McFoley right.
Right. And initially, okay, tomorrow, Wicked Win Sports T, Me Bounds taking over the rebounds. She set a record last night. We will have that AR5 for you. Angel Reese, 26 rebounds. We will be discussing that record-breaking night and playoff riffs, and getting you set, been in the corner on Hump Day, going into Friday, give you a little Falcon talk, some NFL talk, might even have a little MMA talk, you know what I'm saying, if I can get all my research and film check in on that. So y'all pull up, you know what I'm saying, for Wicked Win Sports T, and the favorite part of the show for that, you know what I'm saying, hey, the Sports T Dummy of the Week, we got some special ones for you as well.
Yeah, I know who mine gonna be.
Yeah, with that being said, man, we're going to keep it we're going to keep it international too. We're going to always keep it dirty. We're definitely going to keep it real with ourselves. Let your next choice be your best choice. For the psychopath, the pot stirrer, I am the people's OG, aka Mr. White. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.